What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Welcome back to the Hargests on Deck podcast. How's it going?
It's going.
It's going.
It's going well.
It's going really well. We've had a little bit of a hiatus.
We did.
We posted a video, said, hey, we're doing a lot of Jump 5 content. Part 1 of this Q&A, and then...
Psych!
Yeah, nothing for a month and a half. And we apologize for all of those who are waiting for another video in the Jump 5 string of videos that we were going to do.
I'm one of them.
I know,
waiting.
me too.
I'm waiting.
Life happened.
Patiently.
But for those who are new to the podcast, welcome. We are your hosts.
Yeah, we are.
My name is Brandon.
I'm Ashley.
And
I've got my cinnamon tea here. I decided to make some tea. I thought it seemed cozy. It's freezing outside.
It is very cold outside.
And we have a nice little fake fire going back here.
With
Christmas
no heat.
Tree. Well, it's off camera, but
yes,
nice little Christmas tree. It's just so cozy. So I made myself some hot cinnamon tea.
It smells delicious.
Cold, and it sounded nice.
It smells nice too.
Yeah.
And we're wanting to kind of catch everybody up with everything that's happened.
We have a lot to catch up on.
We do have a lot to catch up on. So if you're looking for another Jump 5 video, it's coming. There's more coming. We promise we're going to be doing more of that.
I don't think they believe us.
I know. I feel really bad every time another week comes by and it's like, oh no, we didn't post again. So Thank you for bearing with us for those who are watching and listening. We're going to mainly talk about what's happened over the past month and a half. Big stuff. Big stuff.
Big things. Lots of good things, lots of really not fun things.
Yeah.
All at once.
All at once. So we'll kind of talk about that and looking forward to future videos as well. Before we jump in, we are shooting this podcast in multiple formats. So one, it's on video. If you're listening to this only, there's a video version on YouTube. Go over to youtube.com/HargestOnDeck to see our faces there. And if you're watching this and want to listen to this on the way into work or around the house and you don't really feel like you have to look at us, we are on all audio platforms.
Maybe you're wrapping some Christmas presents.
Yeah, it is that season.
Baking some cookies.
I love me some cookies. Yes.
We'll try to have soothing voices for you so that it's like...
Yes. You got to give us an example of a soothing voice.
Let me have a sip of my hot tea first.
Oh, are you going to slurp it on the?
No, I won't.
That was me.
I won't do that to them.
Well, we're on all kinds of platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, Google Play, all of those things. So check us out there.
Yes.
I say we just jump straight into what's been going on.
What's been going on, man?
So, like I said, it's been about a month and a half since the last episode, which again we apologize for. But we did hit the road. Yeah,
we did. We hit the road right after our last episode.
Yes. And where did we go?
Well, we went to Disney World with your side of the fam.
We did. We went to Disney World, and it was the first time we've been to Disney World in a regular capacity. Like,
what does that mean?
Okay, so for those who don't know.
Confused.
Well, okay, so I obviously have been to Disney World many times because of my past with Jump 5. We did a lot of things in the parks over the years with doing shows and premieres and ride openings and all kinds of stuff.
You mean we just went like normal people?
We went like normal people.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the only way.
That's what you were thinking.
I didn't know what you meant.
I'm sorry.
That's the only way I've ever gone.
Well, I know.
It's like a normal people.
I'm just saying, I have gotten to see Disney World in a very unique light.
You have. I know. It's pretty amazing.
Yes. And so this is the first time we went as parents. First time we went where we were doing it the way that most people experience Disney World. And it was really fun, actually. I really enjoyed it.
It was such a fun trip.
Yeah, actually, looking back, even like a week or two after we got home, I was still just remembering those times. It was one of those. Okay, do you know the meme? It's from The Office, I think, and I think it's Andy who says, "I wish we knew we were in the good times before the good old days before they were gone or something like that." Yeah, and I just felt like these moments right here, just the memories we made and the experiences we got to have with the kids and with with my family. I thought it was one of those where it just felt like we were in those times.
I know. My favorite thing was just getting to be together as a family. It was like such special moments together as a family.
Yeah.
And just getting to hang all day from 5 something in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Nonstop.
So
that's the only way to do it.
That is the only way to do it.
If you're going to fit everything in.
So quickly about this trip. So we did do this where we saved up, by the way, for this trip.
We did.
You
got to save up.
This trip was like...
It's a pretty penny for a Disney World.
Oh, yeah. It was like 3 to 4 years in the making. Yeah. My mom and dad...
They keep raising their prices.
I know they do. Oh, they do. But my mom and dad, the only reason that this happened was because of their idea.
Shout out to Mimi and Papa G.
Yes.
It only happened because of them.
Yes. They had been for the past almost like 3.5, 4 years. I don't remember how long now, but I feel like it's been like every Christmas or birthday, they had been giving us money towards this trip. And it wasn't something where it's like, oh yeah, you're going to save up. No, they actually had a separate like savings account set up to where whenever it was a birthday or Christmas for any of the 5 of us, the kids or Ashley and I, they would deposit money into this account. So that way, by the time we went to this trip, we had this money there. We couldn't touch it until then. And so that made this trip possible.
Yep.
We still had to pay some out of our own pocket. That's how expensive this thing was. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm glad we got to do this. So we go and we actually do 4 full days in the parks. We did a park a day. We started with, Hollywood Studios, then Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot. And I don't know if you guys have been to Disney World in the past few years, but it's very different from the last time we went.
Yeah.
I think, how long ago has it been since we went?
I think we went maybe a year after we got married.
Wow.
With my side of the family.
Yes, that was about a decade
For a day.
ago.
I think we just went for like a day.
We did. And so that's why I'm not counting regular capacity, because even those times, that was right after like the Jump 5 era, I would say. And we still went to the parks back then and just tried to hit all of the thrill rides in one day and tried to jump between parks and do all this stuff. And it wasn't like a normal vacation. It was like, let's go and just hit everything as fast as possible. But that was 10 years ago, I think, or if not longer.
Yeah.
And well, if you said right after we got married, yeah, we're married 11 and a half years now.
Wow.
Anyway, so we do that. We go 1 park a day, and we thought we're going to be able to tackle everything in the parks. We're going to have so much time to just get to enjoy and not have to rush through anything. But there's still so much to do in these parks. I mean, we didn't even get to see a lot of shows either. We were going from one thing to the next, and now you have the app that you have to work with, like the actual Disney World app.
That was intense. I'm glad that you and
goodness.
your parents and Brittany and Kyle, y'all had that stuff figured out. I was like, just tell me where to go. I'll be there with my little beep beep.
Oh yes, we didn't talk about that. Okay, so that was another thing. Ashley, okay, this trip again wouldn't happen if it weren't for a few things. One being, the money that was saved up for this. The second thing is because of Ashley's rheumatoid arthritis, she had, unfortunately to her, she did not want to do this, but she had to have an ECV, which I still don't know what that stands for. Electronic something.
I looked it up
vehicle?
and now I don't remember.
I don't know. I should have looked it up
scooter.
too. It's a scooter, yeah. It was one of those things you see at Walmart where the people are just tooting around on. The
people you're getting run over by.
Yes,
that was me.
Although I will say this thing was not as fast as I had hoped it would.
No,
be.
I feel like I dragged us down.
It was slower than
we were trying to get to rides on time, and people were our group was trying to run, and I could only go so fast.
Yes.
So your sweet mom, she would stay back with me, and she'd try to help me maneuver through the crowds.
Yes.
And that helped a lot.
I helped out some too.
No, absolutely.
I mean,
yes.
I didn't just leave my wife in the lurch.
You were either there was someone pushing a stroller,
yes,
someone holding another child's hand, or someone helping me.
So yeah, this trip. So it was Ashley, myself, our 3 little boys, 7, 5, and 3, which I thought was the perfect ages for this too, because I'm jumping all over the place. The rides that they could ride. Mason, our oldest, could ride everything, which was awesome. Beckham could ride everything but 1 ride, and then Lincoln could ride everything but 4 rides. And I thought it was a perfect time for them to go. We also had my mom and dad, of course, and then my sister Brittany, her husband Kyle, and their little baby 1-year-old Pepper. And it was so fun because we're going around and seeing all new stuff. Again, it's been a decade since we were there last. We got to see the new Star Wars land and all these other places, the Toy Story land, and it was so cool, and getting to see it from the kids' perspective too. that's one thing. When we went last, we were just hitting all the thrill rides, Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, Space Mountain, all those. And this time we got to enjoy things like a character breakfast. And we wouldn't do a character breakfast as adults by ourselves. I mean, some people enjoy that. We're always thinking about getting to the next thing, but when you're taking your time and you have little kids, that character breakfast thing was so much fun to see them get excited about it. And we do little things like that, some of the smaller rides that you may not do all the time because you had more time each day. And so we had all that. Again, you were scooting around on your scooter, which was awesome.
We only crashed a couple times.
Well, I will say,
ran over my foot once.
You did. You ran over my mom once too.
Well, that was not me.
That was not you.
I had a child in my lap.
Yes.
And he decided to hit the gas, and your mom was right in front of us, and he ran into her, and she had a big old bruise.
The thing was, she was trying to stop the scooter because she thought the scooter was rolling down, about to hit other people.
No. I think it was Beckham, was full on holding it down.
Holding the accelerator there. And,
oh my goodness.
And she was stopped with her leg until she realized, I can't stop this. He's going.
I felt so bad.
Well, thankfully, you quickly shut it off, after realizing what happened.
Not fast enough. That thing was dangerous.
But I will say, you started out, we started off, the first thing we did was we ran to the Star Wars land, and we did, I think, Rise of the Resistance, the brand new ride. I say brand new. It's probably been out for years. Brand new to us. And the queue, you had to go through all the lines. Because we got there as the first thing we did that morning for the rope drop, quote unquote rope drop, the line wasn't super bad because that was the first thing. And you were just trying to get through the line as quick as possible, that weave in and out. And your steering ability, you were trying to figure out how that worked because it was the first thing you'd ever done. With this. And
I don't know if you've ever been on that ride and been through that line. It was a tight squeeze.
It's a tight squeeze.
I mean, you're making sharp turns.
Yes. And you still were learning how to do the whole
I was not familiar with this thing yet. And so we did crash once in that line.
We did. You did. Not me. I didn't do that. I wasn't driving.
And then I believe there was one other crash at some point.
We took a chunk out of one of the walls, but it's okay because it made it look a little bit more authentic because it was, supposed to be dilapidated. It was great.
I got my foot stuck in between a wall and the scooter.
That was
and
not good.
Crunched it.
Yeah.
And so there were a few little casualties, but I did, by the end of the trip, I was weaving in and out. I mean, it was incredible.
I was amazing. The last day was Epcot.
One-handed.
Oh yeah,
except I had to be one-handed because my left wrist towards the end of the trip was really hurting. So I had to do I had to steer with one hand. Yeah. But she was literally. We had it figured out by then.
Just we did. So Epcot was the last park, and there was a brand new, again, new to us for those in the comments, the Ratatouille ride, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and that line was again same kind of thing, you weaving in and out, and she was just skirting around the hairpin turns as if it was nothing, which was amazing. Yeah, so you definitely you got those skills down. So if we need to go anywhere else with a scooter, you can handle yourself.
I couldn't have done it without it, even though I did not like having it because I felt really bad for our group. You guys had to slow. You were way slowed down because of me. And I also felt just like a burden trying to get around people. And then there were I don't know, we had to do things differently because of the scooter that I had. So I hated that I had it, but I also couldn't have
You could have done it. And I actually have a different outlook on that. I was, glad, again, because we wouldn't be able to do it because just walking around, there's a lot of things too you don't realize when you get up at 5, 6 in the morning, whatever time we got up in the morning, because you get up super early, got to book all the different fast passes to make sure everything's, good and getting everything booked, which that's a whole new world from what I remember. I just remember just going to the parks. Now you have to get all this planning stuff done. And then you're there all the way until parks close and it's like 11 o'clock at night by the time you're done. And the kids were getting tired. I was getting tired walking around. There's no way you could have done that without the scooter with your RA. And so I was glad that you could do it. But then also there was a lot of added benefits too. We, thankfully, I didn't realize Disney could do this, and I'm glad they did, but they let you bring backpacks in with food and drinks. And we were able to have a lot of just bottled water and snacks for the kids. And they were heavy. And so you were essentially a pack mule at that point.
You were using me.
Oh, absolutely. You had a basket in the scooter. You had the bag, or sorry, the back of your seat.
I was carrying it all. I was carrying the load.
Oh, it was amazing. We did that. I don't think we were supposed to do this, so don't say anything. But it was a great seat for one of the kids to sit on your lap too, because walking all day. We did bring an umbrella stroller, which I was very glad that you told us to do that, because I was thinking, the kids can walk. They're no big deal. They don't need a stroller. We needed a stroller, which is good. I'm glad we brought that. So one kid was in a stroller, one kid was on your lap, which really helped. And then on top of that, we also were able to get in some of the lines even faster, because some of the older rides didn't have handicap access to get through the lines. So not only did we have the fast pass stuff that we were doing with lightning lanes, but we also had you in your scooter that got us straight to the back. Or there might have been rides where it's like, okay, listen, this ride can't do the fast pass or lightning lane or whatever it is. So what we'll do is we'll give you a lightning lane fast pass ticket thing that would be the same amount of time as the standby line of the ride, and you guys could do something else and come back at a time. So it was nice to get extra things there with that. So I was loving the fact that we had that scooter. So
yeah, and and sometimes I would transfer to a
wheelchair
if the line was going to be really long or something.
Well, also because some rides they had wheelchair access, but they couldn't do the ECV or something. Yeah. So we did that too, and yeah.
So then kid could sit in my lap in the long line.
So it was. I thought it was a great thing.
But
so, and again,
hopefully I wouldn't have to do that again.
I hope that your health is better in the future, so you don't have to do that. But I'm glad we got to do it that way. So, and again, it wasn't too bad. You weren't that slow. It was fine.
We were speedy at the end.
The
end of the trip.
Yes. But we had so much fun. I mean, we had, there were so many good memories we made. The kids loved it. We loved it.
And the boys getting to have all that cousin time.
Yes, got to hang out with Pepper, their baby cousin, and it was just, again, after we got home, I kept thinking back about those times, especially even though it was long, waking up that early and getting the boys ready and getting out to the Skyliner, the new way to get to some of the parks, and just that whole time. I know. Good memories. So,
good memories. But yeah, we made some really good memories.
We did. So it'll probably be years and years before we ever go back again, just because those prices keep going up. It's going to be too hard. But it was really fun. And then we got back home, and immediately it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We literally got
home. We had a day
home.
in between.
We had one day. We got home Tuesday evening. Yep. Late because we drove there,
and when we got here we had someone waiting for us.
We did. We had a visitor here, all the way up from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Mr. Mark Cheruto.
Mark Cheruto, one of our very, very good friends, came and stayed the week with us for Thanksgiving, which was awesome. I felt bad he wasn't with his family.
He came and spent last Thanksgiving with us. It was the best, and he came back. We were like,
we felt honored.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I know.
We're not that much fun, but
I know. Well, this is the second year he's done it, and we felt honored that he would come and stay with us.
I know.
So we had a good time there. He was here all week, and Thanksgiving happening. Again, we got home Tuesday evening. We had Wednesday to prepare everything because we had family over to our house. We had a ton of people over, and so we had to make sure everything was all ready to go, which we tried to do before we left for Disney.
Yes, I tried to leave the house all clean and ready to go. Had the groceries and things bought.
Yes, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was fun. We had a great time. Like I said, it all happened so fast because everything led into each other. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanksgiving over here, and it was good times.
Good times.
What was not good times?
Not good times.
Was the next thing that happened. I'll let you talk about it. Yes. Kind of. Yes. Now enough time has passed, I guess.
Yes.
Very traumatic experience that happened the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the scariest moments. The other scary moment was when Lincoln was born.
Yes, that was terrifying.
But I also didn't realize how serious it was until after the fact. So Lincoln not breathing for the first 10 minutes of his life, but I also didn't know that was happening when it was happening in the moment. So other than that, this was definitely the scariest.
Now that you bring that up, because I forgot about that, I've gotten to witness 2 very, very traumatic experiences. In the past few years, but being on the outside of both those and being aware it was happening on both things. So, what happened to you? What happened?
Well, it was a freak accident.
Yeah.
I had a very crazy reaction to some new stuff I took for my rheumatoid arthritis. Yes. And basically I had been taking this stuff every day throughout the week and had upped my dosage each day. And
not by much too. I mean, like it was slowly upping it because nothing was affecting you.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything that whole week as I was taking it. And one night at the end of the week, something came over me so fast. And before I knew it, the EMS were like all over our living room. And lots happened. And then by the time we got to the hospital, they ran some tests and stuff and discovered that apparently the doctor said my body did not process this stuff all week that I was taking it. It was like storing it up and it all hit at once that one night. So it was like I had taken a whole week's worth at once. And so my body went crazy and I mean 100% believed that Jesus was taking me home that night.
Yeah. It was very scary. And from my perspective, because again, she's taking this stuff. This was the 4th day in a row because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday was when this happened. And she took that dosage.
No, I took it. Tuesday. Yeah.
So that night when we got home. So Friday morning at 10 a.m., you took however much it was then, and no problems. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing happened. Yeah. Not one reaction, nothing. Nothing happened that morning. We go.
Well, it didn't help me at all.
It
no
didn't
reaction, affect me at all.
Yeah, no good or bad. And so all day, nothing's going on. We Mark and I are playing video games. You're doing something. I didn't know what you're doing throughout the day.
I was doing Black Friday shopping.
Oh, that's
right.
On my phone. Yes, exactly. And then we went to the bowling alley nearby, and they had a laser tag. The boys and I went, bowled, and then you joined us for laser tag, which was a lot of fun. We had a great time there. And nothing was wrong. There's a little arcade there. We hang out. We go back. We get some more food to eat, more leftovers. We're going to have a little movie night because it's Friday. And in the middle of eating is when you looked up and was like, something's wrong. And then I could just see in your eyes just the panic that you had. And you were like, you started kind of freaking out. And I got you over to the couch, laid you down. And
I was literally swallowing a piece of ham when it hit.
Yeah.
So this piece of ham was stuck in my throat for at least 2 hours. And because my body stopped responding, so I couldn't even drink water because I would have choked because I couldn't control my body. I couldn't even feel anything. So anyways, it was stuck in my throat for at least 2 hours because that's what I was eating when it came over me. So it was wild.
It was scary too because then your arms and legs you couldn't move them. But they were convulsing, you were just looking around, and you were terrified. I asked do I need to call 911? And Ashley is not, a huge fan of going to the doctor and that kind of stuff. She's just like, oh, we'll
it'll
figure
be
it out.
fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And when I asked that, and she said yes, I knew, okay, something is up, because you never would say, oh yeah, please, let's call 911, and especially if it's nothing. You literally. You were like, yes. And so I called them, EMS. I've only had to call 911 2 times in my life, and that was the second time.
When was the first time?
We had a car accident, but we were before we were married, and I had to call 911 after that too. But the EMS were almost, it was the first responders hit there first, and there was 3 guys that came running in the fire truck. Then the EMS, 3 more guys came in, and we're trying to figure out what's going on, checking, vitals and everything. And the scariest thing, and it's kind of hard to say this because, and obviously you're better now, and it, we're just naturally joyful people. But that was a terrifying moment because in that time, you're laying on the couch, and I can see in her eyes that she is terrified, and she starts telling me how much she loves me. She's telling the boys, wanting to talk to them, how much she loves them. And I knew what she was doing in the moment because that was, she was saying, essentially, you were saying goodbye because you thought.
I was telling you, I said, I'm going.
You literally thought that if you closed your eyes, you were going to die. Yeah,
it was the wildest, like I could feel myself slipping away. And I knew if I closed my eyes or fell asleep that that was it, which thankfully, I knew where I was going. So I had no fear of dying. But then I remember looking at the boys and was like, I'm never going to. Well, I remember when I knew any moment was going to be my last breath, I just started thanking God for saving me because then I didn't have to fear. But then I looked at the boys and was like, but I'm never going to get to see them grow up. And all these things started going through my mind. Then it was in that moment that I started praying that God would spare my life.
And that was terrifying for me too, because I could see what you were doing, and that was oh my gosh, stay with us, and thankfully we were able to get you to the hospital, and the her heart was 145 beats per minute throughout the night, and it was just trying to get that down. The doctors and nurses, it was confusing because again, if she had a reaction to the medication, it should have happened within hours of taking that. And this was it was 7:30 in the evening when this happened. So it was super weird. The doctor was trying to figure all that out, but that's what they essentially determined it to be. And thankfully, after probably 5 or 6 hours, heart rate started coming down.
And he was afraid to give me anything to counteract it because he didn't want to mix any kind of medications. So I remember my body on the hospital bed was shaking like crazy, and my feet, I remember they were literally bouncing so high. It was uncontrollable shaking. And the next day I remember feeling my whole body was so sore from all the constant shaking, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
well, I remember just sitting there next to the bed watching you, just hoping that something would change, because again, your body was just convulsing all night. And we were there for hours, but finally it started to come down. I'm glad too because I knew you needed to be back in your bed because there wasn't much else they could do for you. You had to get it out of your system, had to pass, and I think around 2:30, maybe 3 in the morning, you were able to wake up. The doctor could see, because I think at that point he wanted to make sure that you could actually sit up and stand on your own.
Well, and I remember there were 2 different times I had to pee.
Oh yeah,
but I couldn't move my body at all on my own because I couldn't feel anything, and so I TMI, but had to use a bedpan for both of those times.
Yes,
because I couldn't move.
Well, because the doctor was holding your leg up and saying, "Hold it up" or "Hold your arm up," and he would let go, and it would just fall. You had no feeling or no.
Well, they asked for my finger to do the prick it for.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Blood sugar, I guess, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
But even I remember all the confusion that I had, them asking me simple questions, and I quickly was losing all memory. When we were here at the house, when the EMS first got here, they were asking me these simple questions that I remember they asked me my first name. I got it right,
yes,
which I could, I had to think so hard for any question, even my name.
Sure.
And I remember hearing myself speak it was so slow. Was it? It was weird when I was speaking.
It was not.
It felt like it was
normal.
Super slow. I had to think really hard on literally every word to try to get it out. But then when they asked my last name, I remember I literally saw both Hargest and Radford, my maiden name, and Hargest, and I remember trying to pick which one it was because it didn't come to me. And it was just like, wow. And then the more questions they asked, I started losing it even more. And I remember one, I forgot what they asked, and I was like, I don't know, but it was just a basic question.
But it was the whole night.
So
yeah, it was terrifying.
The Lord was just like speaking to me a lot and just showing me his goodness, even there on the hospital bed, just how, I believe that he can use even those times. And, so I'm just grateful that his hand was in all of it.
Yes. It was a terrifying, couple of days, because
definitely you have a whole other perspective when, I've never been in that moment where I 100% believed I was taking my last breath any minute. And so it just changes your outlook a lot on things.
It was definitely, just recovering that weekend too.
It took my body forever to get back. But then even when I was physically feeling better, I kept having flashbacks of that night. Yeah. And when I would go back there in my mind, something would come over me again, and I would feel like I was going to pass out. My heart would start beating so fast. I just kept having these like visions of that night. I remember I came and sat on this couch, which is where I laid down when the EMS came. And I was like, I don't think I can sit here right now. And then you found like a piece of,
it was part of like the alcohol pad or something they used to like.
Oh, when they were checking my blood sugar. You found that the next day on the floor. And there were just like little things that reminded me that I couldn't, it took a while to get past like going back there in my mind. Now I can talk about it.
It was a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, it is definitely something that.
I hated that the boys had to see all of that. Yeah. Because they were here. They obviously didn't come to the hospital with us, but they were here when it happened and when the EMS came. And I remember Mason asking me multiple times if I was dying. Beckham told me the next day when I was back home, he said that he said, when you were laying there and hurting, a tear dropped down my cheek. So I hated that they had to see all that. But they got to see how God protected. Yeah. Through it all.
Exactly. So but again, that was, like I said, so far it's been very ups and downs. I mean, it's been like really high highs, literally right in the middle of really hard things. It's been like all the emotions this past month. Oh yeah. So that was Friday, Saturday when this all happened. And then come Monday, I was very nervous and anxious because I had something I had to do at work on Monday. And that was something that I've only done a couple times in life. And that was to put my 2 weeks notice in. I've been at my previous job for 6 years, and an opportunity came along that I couldn't pass up. And that was something that was very, nerve-wracking because I loved the people I worked with. I love that was a family to us, and
got really good family friends.
Yes,
that you worked for.
Exactly, and to have to quit, to put in a 2 weeks notice. I was worried how that was going to go because this new job that I got offered. I actually got the call as we were going down to Disney World, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't put my 2 weeks notice in until I got back home, because when we left for Disney World, it was the start of an 11-day vacation, and I didn't want to just say, "Oh, cool, I got a new job." Call my old company and said, "Hey, I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in, and I'm gonna be gone for 11 of those 14 days." Sorry, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure I gave them time, the time that they deserved, and so this new job is actually something that I've been working with. And you guys have probably heard, if you've listened to our podcast before, you've heard me talk about this organization because I've been volunteering with them for months now. And
I feel like it's been closer to a year.
I know. I think we did about 8 events this year, I think. it was back in March. We might have started this part of the ministry. But this organization I've been volunteering with the kids, the Warriors gaming events that we've been doing. they were looking at hiring somebody full-time to help grow that part of the ministry. And there's a bunch of other things that the ministry does that they were wanting some help in, and that opportunity came up, which was awesome because I really felt like God was working in this. We had been praying for certain things to happen, and just seeing a lot of that evidence of that in this time, just with the different doors that opened and the doors that closed for this. And it was really exciting to get to see the fruit of that. And again, very, very nerve-wracking come Monday to tell, my bosses, hey, after 6 years, I'm going to be stepping down. And thankfully, they were all super encouraging, super gracious with everything, completely understood, because this opportunity was something that's very cool to get to be a part of. And so, yeah, a whole new job now in the middle of that. So 2 weeks, I'm working and I'm about to transition to this new job. And in the middle of that, I started working with them pretty much immediately in the evenings after I left my old job, working on these concerts with Christian artists, and it's been a really, really cool time because I was seeing people that I hadn't seen in years, people that I used to know back in the Jump 5 days, industry people that knew who Jump 5 was, and I was able to talk with a lot of artists and engage people in that world, and it just felt kind of like coming back home to the music world, and just
you said it was kind of has felt like a dream come true.
It has, yeah, because there's a lot of things that I'm getting to be a part of with this organization, this ministry, and one of the best things, if not the best thing about it, is at the end of the day that the goal is to teach people about Jesus and to bring more people to him. So that's something that's really cool. That's kind of our main objective there, and that's what I get to do now, and help that ministry grow. And so, yeah, very, very big change there, and we knew about that, and so again, really fun trip, fun holiday, dip with all the health issues, and then come back with this period of time of starting a new job. So I am now officially in it. I've been with the organization for a full week now. It's been awesome, getting to see all the different things. Yay, I know, completed 1 week, and that's been awesome. And I look forward to what's in store for 2023 with the new job. So
I've been excited to see you.
Yeah.
Excited about this.
I just love that there's a chance to be creative again and do a lot more with that side of my experience. So that's gonna be fun. Pumped about that. And now it's Christmas now. It's crazy how fast time flies.
Yeah, it's crazy. Christmas is in a few days.
It's in a few days.
Wild.
Which is crazy. I mean, we wanted to shoot this podcast to catch you guys up, but also it's been so long. We wanted to get something out before Christmas, and
you had a couple Christmas parties.
We did have a couple Christmas parties that we attended.
Yes.
Some white elephant parties.
Yeah, they were both white elephant.
Yes.
Which was fun.
My sister had one over at their house, a lot of people, and then your aunt and uncle had one at their house the next day. Mm-hmm. And it was fun to get to be a part of that and get to have fun. There were some doozies of some gifts out there.
Yeah, tell us about them, Brandon.
Oh, me? Okay. So this gift that I got to open, I was surprised that no one wanted to steal it from me.
I'm so glad I happened to be filming because I had no idea what you were about to open. I just decided to film it. I mean, I film a lot of things, but I could have easily not been filming this particular. No, you could.
Yeah, I know. And I looked over at Xander. So Courtney and Xander. Courtney is Ashley's little sister. Xander is her fiance. And I look over, and he kind of gives me like the.
Oh yeah, because I don't know if we mentioned that actually happened.
Oh yeah.
While we were gone too.
I know. A lot of stuff.
The engagement. My sister got engaged.
A lot of stuff. But so I look over, and I'm just trying to look at the presents that are left, and he kind of looks over, and he's like, "Yeah, do that one." He kind of whispers and kind of nods his head, and I'm like, okay. I couldn't tell, but I knew it was something they brought. So I said, okay. And Courtney said, just handle with care. Like, it's be cautious. It's fragile. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I lifted up.
It said that on the bag, didn't it?
It did say that on the bag. I thought it was like breakable, like glass or something like that.
It could break.
It could break. I pick it up, and the first thing I pull out of there is a little container of food. And I'm thinking, wait a second. It had a little fish on it.
That's when you should have put it right back down.
I should have said, oh, you know what? But I kept going, and inside of this bag was a container that had a single betta fish in it.
Yep.
And I thought, what have I just done?
And I thought, what have you just done?
We just pulled out a living creature.
You just opened our first family pet.
Our first family
pet. That we
pet.
were not prepared for.
Not at all. I mean, the kids have been, asking for a dog, which
I know.
Sadly,
and people wonder, like, people have asked us, like, why don't you all have a pet? Well, there's three of us are allergic to cats, very allergic to cats. And Lincoln is very allergic to dogs. He even reacts to hypoallergenic dogs.
Yeah, which is really frustrating.
And so we can't have cats. We can't have dogs unless there is some sort of dog that he won't react to.
Hopefully he grows out of that at one point.
So that's why
we're
we don't know
petless.
when the pets will happen. Apparently now.
It was thrust upon us.
They'll happen now.
It was thrust upon us on Saturday a couple days ago, and at that moment when the boys saw it, they were so excited that they immediately started naming the fish. And I'm like, boys, somebody might want to steal this gem of a present.
Yeah, why
Let's
did no
not
one steal
name
it?
Well, because at that point they're like, we can't possibly steal a child's dream.
I say, yes, you can.
And
please do it.
And so no one wanted to steal it, and so we ended up leaving with a fish.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at the time, because the whole time I'm stressing out thinking, we've got to keep this thing alive now. Like, we have to go get, because it can't just live in this tiny little container. We got to go get a little aquarium. We got to get, you can't just put regular water in it.
We have to become fish people overnight.
I know. So, and I had to do all this research. Looking up what kind of...
You stayed up all night researching about betta fishes.
Not all night. Come on.
For a while.
People are going to think that I was
No,
just
it was good because I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, I was making... Well, because I was worried. It's like,
I was just going to wing it. I was just going to do what felt right.
You can't put tap water in there. They're going to die.
Like, he likes Cheerios, right?
See, that's the thing.
They'll get soggy in the water.
Yeah.
So it softened for him.
So Courtney did give us some fish food, at least so the fish stayed alive that night, which was great.
That was great.
I'm watching the fish because I'm like, okay, how much food do I give them? I don't know. Because literally some people there that night at the party were saying, oh, you just feed them once a week. It's fine, this and that. And then some were like, some things I was reading online, feed it 2 to 3 times a day. Change the water once a week. This, and I'm just like, I don't know what to believe.
Book him a massage once a week.
Some were saying just put
Fluff his pillow at night. Come on.
Some were saying put it in a fishbowl. Some were saying you have to get a 10-gallon aquarium. Supposedly betta fish jump out of the water.
What?
So it's like, you got to figure all these things out.
Courtney, she got us a jumping fish.
And it's a tropical fish that needs to supposedly live in like 76 to 82 degree water.
It's such a diva, this
They're
fish
carnivores. They get stressed out. They get anxiety. Did you know that?
Well, only because of you.
Because I told her.
And because of Google. Also, they have to live alone.
They have to live alone.
They are the most diva-ish fish. Diva-ish fish out there.
You put
is the betta fish.
Maddie.
So steer clear.
Maddie, our sister-in-law, mentioned that if you put a mirror in front of the thing, the fish will kind of like spread its fins out because it thinks it's another fish and will try to attack.
So dramatic.
I know, it's crazy. So we had to go the next day to get some equipment. We got a little, aquarium.
Even before you let us have lunch after church, we had church and then we usually eat lunch after. Brandon was like, no,
we gotta
go.
We're
going straight to Petco. We're not even eating yet. That's all he could think about.
Well, because I'm thinking we got to hurry and get this stuff done because we had another party to go to. But also when I was feeding the fish that first night, I drop a few pellets in and the fish goes and, grabs one, grabs another one. I'm like, oh, cool. He's eating the pellets. This is great. He's doing that. He missed a couple, couldn't get it down. You just could see it. And then I'm just watching. I'm just sitting there watching. The kids had gone upstairs, getting ready for bed. I don't know why I'm sitting there for 15 minutes just watching this fish as if it was a newborn baby. I don't know why. I literally don't know why I was doing this, but I was watching. And about 10 minits in, like the fish just starts convulsing and his head just like, shakes back. Like I'm like, what's going on with this fish? All of a sudden, bloop, 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 bloop.
He yells from downstairs, Ashley, the fish is throwing up.
The fish threw up
what?
Everything
fish
that it
up?
ate. Every pellet that he ate 10 minutes prior all came up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this fish is going to die. We're going to wake up with a floating fish in this little container before we can get a real living, aquarium for him. This is crazy. So yeah,
the wrong
we
people
were like,
opened that white elephant
we're getting an aquarium as soon as possible. So it's been 2 days now.
So we went to Petco and you asked all the questions.
I did.
And we ended up going full, just jumping in with this fish. And we got the aquarium. We got the cool blue rocks. The boys picked out the rock color. And then they picked out these little fake plant things. The decor. They picked out this little pineapple house. They said, Mommy has to have a house. Where's he going to sleep?
Which he has gone in multiple times.
I know, which is really funny.
We had to get the water safe, like the stuff to make sure the tap water is okay for the fish. Because if the fish gets in the tap water without the stuff that
and then it has to be the right temperature.
And then you also have the bacteria that I was like, what? What is all this stuff? We had to get the stuff that you have to introduce bacteria into the water so the fish doesn't die. And you have to do that within 30 minutes of putting the fish in or he will die. And I'm like, but then this is the crazy thing too. It's a beta fish. I have heard so many different things. They also say, oh, well, the beta fish can like survive a nuke. And I'm like, well, why, sir? Why are you telling me all these things at the store of all of the things that we have to do to keep him alive, but he could also survive a nuke going off?
What do we believe?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
So
if you guys know, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and we're fish people now, I guess. So.
We're very much fish people.
Stay tuned.
He's thriving right over there. He's has a beautiful home. No, he's absolutely thriving. And like you can change the light color of his,
we have a little LED light that came with the little
tank.
Fish tank.
It's really cool. It's like he's
chilling
having
out there.
Parties every night.
I know. He still is throwing up food every now and then.
We're trying to figure that part out.
We are. I hope he stays alive long enough. Ashley did
we
say...
We didn't even say the name, his name.
Oh, we didn't say name. Before I do, though, Ashley did keep the receipts because she's afraid that if this fish dies in a few weeks, we are not keeping this because we're not going to get a second fish. But
this is a good introduction for the boys. Give them some responsibility.
Yes.
Even though you haven't let them feed the fish really yet.
I have to.
You have?
I have absolutely.
Oh, okay. I thought you were afraid they were going to feed them too much.
No, I've let the kids feed the fish.
Okay.
Absolutely I have. And we also found out the fish, if you take care of them, they could live up to 10 years.
10 years. I said, what? I had no idea what we were signing up for. This is like a lifetime thing.
Lengthy,
so, yes. But so two of the boys wanted Jeffrey. One of the boys wanted Nemo.
Yes.
So we landed on Jeffrey Nemo Hargest. We call him Jeff.
Yes.
And
Jeff he's doing great.
He's quite the little
addition
character.
He's quite the addition to the family.
Quite the addition.
Did the boys even feed him tonight before they went to bed?
Oh,
I guess they're not in bed yet. Anyway. I don't know. I'm just constantly thinking about the fish being fed. I don't know. Anyway.
He's doing great.
He's doing great.
Just swimming.
Just keeps on swimming. So that's basically what's happened in the past month and a half.
We did. I mean, I threw it out there a second ago. During all of that, we helped throw an engagement party for my sister because she got engaged.
Oh yeah.
During this time, so that was another big thing that happened.
Yeah. Just so much going on. So we wanted to catch you guys up because obviously we've been talking for who knows how long.
Woo!
I'm checking my watch to see if I didn't actually set a time there. We've been talking for a long time, but that's what's new with us. That's why we've been gone for a month and a half. So we hope you guys enjoyed this look back at what's been going on. We will do more Jump 5 content. I think the next video, even though this next video it's going to come out most likely after Christmas. This video will come out before Christmas, but the next one will be after Christmas. And I think we're going to do, we shot a video with Ashley's
special one.
Oh yes. Are we going to talk about who it is, or should we leave it as a teaser?
I don't know.
Well,
what do you think?
I don't know. I kind of just
we had a special guest.
We had a special guest, and we kind of interviewed. It was a little bit different. There's 3 of us this time, and so we will probably put that video up next. and it's kind of a standalone thing. It was shot before this one, so if we sound like we're not mentioning things that happened recently, it's because it was shot a little bit ago.
Yeah.
But we have that. We'll probably air next, and then we'll jump back into the Jump 5 content. So stick around the channel, the podcast. We will be coming out with more of the stuff that you guys want to hear coming up soon.
Yeah.
I figured we'd call it there because it's been about an hour, I feel like.
Let's call it.
So, again, YouTube for all of the video. If you want to check it out there, please don't forget to subscribe.
Yep.
Like and comment the video. Let us know what you want to see. I said comment the video. Comment on the video.
That too.
I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm thinking about the fish. Comment on the video. Let us know what you like about this.
Just comment, Jeff.
Yeah, throw it there. If you've stayed to the end of the video, put in the comments, Jeff. We'll know you stayed and watched the whole video. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this on podcast form, jump over to the video and also comment, Jeff. I don't know. Get you guys engaged as well. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging around and being patient with us. We did post a little short or a reel recently on Instagram where we have our own page there, as well as Ashley has her own Instagram page that's blowing up over there. She does lots of reels.
I've not been doing as many as I would like because life, y'all. Life
gets in the way.
That is something fun I like to do that I'm trying to get back into since I had a little breaksy on there too. At
Ashley Hargest over there, at Hargests on Deck for us. Check it out. And I guess we will see you all in the next episode.
Yeah.
Have a good night. We'll see you. Merry Christmas.
Found it.
Hey,
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, because
oh my goodness.
Christmas is next.
Happening. We're here. It's upon us. It's
It's this week. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. We'll see you
Such a poet.
next week.
Love you guys.
Take care. Bye.
Peace.